and so I'll get it locally here as well.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
it doesn't say I can or can't give you access, and I don't know why. So if you can record, go for it.
No, I can't. So you go ahead and record. We'll just share the file later, and we'll.
Perfect.
Morning, Casey.
Hey, Sean.
So what's up, Connor?
Hi, Craig.
Made it. So I want to introduce you guys all to Connor. He's I do mentoring on Tuesdays. I've been doing this for a couple of years, and Connor's my buddy, and we get to play games. He beats me at Monopoly almost every week, and since we're a little bit we're quarantined and isolated, I was like, well, join us online and you can do some workouts and stuff with your mom. So he's going to be joining us on this morning. So welcome, everybody. Hey, Connor, this is everybody. Everybody, that's Connor.
Hey, Connor.
Morning, Connor.
All right.
Hey, Connor.
So, Craig, this is Tracy.
Yeah, hi, Tracy.
Hi. Yeah, so my boss decided to hold a weekly staff meeting. She's a hall monitor. So at 10:30 every Wednesday. So I'm only going to get to be on for half an hour, but I'm going to finish my workout during the conference call.
Okay, good. Oh, look at you. That's fantastic. So for those of you, that just joined in, what we're going to do is you can see in one of the windows there it says Swift in the bottom corner. That's the actual workout. That's oddly enough, it's a piece of software called Swift, and it's connected to my bike. I've got a heart rate monitor on. I've got a speed sensor, a power meter, cadence, and so you can see a few stats there. It's on the far left. It says 43 watts. That's the warm up. So we've got about a 10-minute warm up we're getting into right now. 8 minutes and 45 seconds to go. Then you see the number 48, 64. That's actually my wattage. So if you have a power meter, you can go ahead and match the power meter if you want. You can pretty much set the exertion level of your workout. You can go as hard as you'd like, or you can go easy or whatever. If you're just starting to work out with us this week, and all you've done is yoga in your past, you may want to work into it, warm up nicely, and just pace yourself a little bit. You see the number that says 96. That's my heart rate, and then the number right below that in the bottom right corner of that white square says 70, 71. That's how fast I'm spinning. So that just gives you a little view. If it's useful, you can see what I'm doing. You can try and match it if you like. You can do more or less. It doesn't really matter. And then today's workout is going to be, it's about 55 minutes, maybe an hour of total. 10-minute warm up and I think probably a 5-minute cool down. What we're going to do is we're going to increase our pace for 5 minutes. So that's called a 5-minute interval. And then we're going to go easy. So it's almost like you're walking for 5 minutes, and then you're jogging or running for 5 minutes, and then you're walking for 5 minutes. And for those that are on bikes, you'll be spinning a little faster, a little harder for 5. And then we want to back it down and let our heart rate come down. And then we'll take it back up again and hold it there. And then we'll bring it back down. We're going to do a total of 5 of those today. So that's how that works. And if you guys are joining us on Facebook Live and you want to actually interact with the rest of the group and not be a strange voyeur that just wants to watch us work out, you can come to our Zoom meeting. So go ahead and on your smartphone or whatever device you have, you need to get the software. Just about everybody has it now, called Zoom or ZOOM. And then the meeting ID is 503-974-1671. And I put the link in the Facebook Live so you can join us. And the answer right now, Lenny, is 13. 13 people are watching us online. And we've got, almost 20 here this morning working out live with us. So each week, we've got about almost 5.5 minutes left on the warm-up. Want to just kind of take a tour around our Brady Bunch Zoom. And so we'd like to know, I'll probably call you out by name unless I can't see it from here. Tell us where you're from and one thing you're grateful for. And I think that there's a saying that you see what you focus on, and if you focus on negative, you'll see it everywhere. If you focus on things that you're grateful for, you'll see that as well. And my buddy of mine, Dirk, told me last night, he says when you're in a true place of gratitude, you don't have anxiety, you don't have worry, and there's no fear. And I thought that was a powerful statement that's timely. So Lenny, why don't you start us off? Boy, look at all these. We're like almost 50-50 girls to boys now, so that's fantastic. So Lenny, where are you from, and what's one thing you're grateful for?
I'm pedaling my house in Alabama, and I am grateful for so many things, but I'm really grateful for this group.
Yeah.
It's holding me accountable and making me get up and get moving.
Yeah, excellent. Excellent. So Lenny is one of the veterans of, well, we used to call this the Low Roller Club, because a lot of us, like you can see, some of us are laying down on our bikes. And so we call it the Low Roller Club. So Lenny's been a veteran of the Low Roller Club, even though her legs work perfectly well and she rides a normal bike. And so she's been coming for at least 3 years, maybe 4 years. Yep. Say that?
Probably 3.
3, yeah, fantastic. And so Dan Steets is one of the original low rollers. So where are you from, Dan?
I'm from Rochester, Minnesota.
He must be in the middle of an interval. Rochester, Minnesota. And what's one thing you're grateful for?
I'm grateful for the sun that came up today. So.
The sun came up today. Very nice.
And it's warmer out, so.
Yeah. Yeah, Dan, I remember one year we were training and he had, he said it was 4 feet of snow outside. And so he was thankful he was inside working out with us online. Excellent. And Mr. Scott Hollenbeck, can you, can we hear you? We can see you, which is debatable how good that is. Okay, now try to talk.
Can you hear
There
me?
you go. Yeah, can hear you loud and clear.
All right. I'm from Rochelle, Illinois, but I'm
Georgia, okay.
I am grateful for the sunshine, the bird song, not at all. It's not ugly.
All right. I can hear some of that. What Mike's reasonable, but I think he's grateful for birds and people, and I think all of it. Okay, just getting real big. Nice. Good to see you, Scott. Scott and I used to. Well, I'll tell you a story about Scott later. Somebody remind me about a story where he cost me my Olympic medal in a time trial. So we'll talk about that later. So Pam Fontaine, where are you from and something you're grateful for?
I'm from North Texas, and I am grateful for my faith, my health, and for you, Craig, for setting up the social interaction so we could all work out and still kind of be together.
Yeah, perfect. Good for you. Excellent. And let's see here. Who else we got? We've got a first timer, Jess. Just met Jess yesterday. Had a nice chat with her. And so, Jess, where are you from?
I'm from Rome, Georgia.
Rome, Georgia.
I'm thankful for finding this group and having something to do and not getting bored and sitting in my house.
That's
A way to
great.
stay.
Well, welcome. Jess, by the way, is friends with Angie Allen. Some of you know her as Angie Hendricks. She's a wheelchair racer, has been around for a while. And Angie invited Jess and told her about this. Some of you found out about this from Facebook, and I invited you, but some of you were invited by someone else that was here. And that's how this thing grows. All right, so we got 36 seconds, 30 seconds to go. And hopefully you're warmed up and you're in good position. And we're gonna start to increase our heart rate, make it a little bit harder. Pace yourself, don't get too excited and get out of the hole too quickly. We'll introduce the rest of you here after our next interval. We might be able to talk while we're working hard, who knows? All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, now we're taking it up. 135 is what the software says. If you can bring it up there, that's great, but just watch for your heart rate to increase and just increase the intensity here.
Craig, I'm not seeing you on your computer on screen.
Yeah, if you're on an iPad or something, you got to switch to gallery view, and one of the gallery views will be the Swift screen.
Got it.
Thank you, Bruce. That was actually really good information for many of you. And I gotta pick it up a little bit here. I'm slacking. Yeah, at least my arms are still moving. But I did this workout on Monday, and then my weight training workout was moved to Mondays, and so within a 2.5 hour period, I rode with you guys, and then I went and did a crushing super slow motion workout. And my trainer is the guy that's walking up and down the stairs. He's at his gym, and he's like, during the I'm gonna do stairs. So we'll talk to Daniel in a bit here. But yeah, I was pretty sore yesterday. So we got about 3 minutes to go. Think of that. We've already been talking for 2 minutes. We're doing great. Tracy, I don't know if you're able to talk, but where are you from?
I am. I live in Maryland, and I am grateful for my family and the fact that I'm not alone. I don't think I'd do very well if I was alone, but
yeah.
And I'm very thankful for this group as well.
Yeah.
Gives me something to look forward to.
Yeah. You know, the word that I was looking for earlier was we're alone, but we're not isolated, or we're isolated, but not alone, because we're working out together here. So we have some representation from the Northeast, from Tracy. Nicely done. I wonder at the end, we don't have our scribe here, but how many states we're gonna encompass. For those of you that are watching online, hopefully you're doing something, even if you don't have a piece of workout equipment. Just wherever you are right now, stand up and start walking in place and move your arms. We've got 1 minute and 50 seconds left of this interval. And so I guess the motto is, if they work, use them. And we'll finish this interval, and then you can drop your arms and just use your legs and kind of walk in place and let your heart rate come down. So good job, everybody. Hopefully your heart rate's getting up a little bit. Breathe. There's another technique that I'll say as we get into the harder intervals. and it's called, I'll say breathe, and I'll say circles. And basically what that is it's a mind over matter type of thing. Your body's hurting, you got lactic acid going, you're in maybe a little bit of oxygen debt. And so what you can do is you can lose your efficiency in your form of your pedaling or whatever device you're on. And so you can focus on your form. On a bike, it's pedaling in a circular motion versus a push-pull. And then breathe. Start to focus on your breath and not holding your breath when it gets hard, because that eventually turns out really bad. Pass out. All right, 20 seconds. This is the end of our first interval. We're coming up to the end. Good job, everybody. We're going to back her down here in about 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so if you're walking in place, you can drop your arms. If you're doing stairs, you can start just walking in place, but you want to back her down a little bit. Whatever your heart rate is now, you want it to come down during the rest. We got 5 minutes of rest. And I know that, well, Daniel's up next. He is walking around the gym. Daniel, why don't you tell us a little bit about where you're from, and tell us a little bit about what you have planned for Saturday, super slow-mo Saturdays.
Yeah, so I'm from the Northwest. I'm from Vancouver, Washington. And
can't quite see your beautiful face.
Oh, here we go. Hi. So like Craig said, I'm a personal trainer here. So right now we are Vancouver, Washington's in shutdown mode. So we're just trying to do our best and improvise as we can. So on Saturday we have a high intensity strength training workout that's on the same channel. I perform what's called super slow high intensity workouts. So I'll be putting on one of those on Saturday. So I'm really excited about that, and to teach a lot of people how to work really hard and how to do it in a safe way. So
yeah, and so the duration, some of the uniquenesses of super slow is the duration and the intensity and how safe it is. Can you maybe say a couple words on that?
Of course, you just caught me coming out of an interval though, so I have to reduce my normal spiel. So super slow is all about intensity. It is about moving in a really slow fashion, but moving in a very intense fashion. So the speed not only increases the intensity, like if you were doing a push-up and then you did it really, really slowly, one of those would be much more difficult than the other. And it's also for safety. If you're moving really, really slowly, there's not a lot of force accruing on the joints and tendons and ligaments, so you're able to move safely and intensely. Our sets normally last anywhere from a minute to 2 minutes, and the idea is not kind of like an interval where you get a rest at all. It's an all-out blitz for that 2 minutes. So really slow, really intense, looking for total fatigue of whatever muscle group we're trying to train. So our workout's only take about 20 minutes, but you leave feeling like you've been hit by a truck. And the cool part is you're leaving feeling safe, and you're leaving without any accrued damage to your joints. You can get a lot of really great benefits without potentially harming yourself, which is kind of what we all want at exercise. We don't want to hurt ourselves, but we want all the good power, or we want all the good benefits that come with it. So
yeah, that's super good. I was joking with Daniel that after yesterday's workout, I couldn't walk. And of course, for those of you that know my legs don't work, thank you, Lenny. These are the normal stupid leg jokes that I just have to tell one per hour. So, oh, all right, we've got 2 minutes to go on this.
Craig, can I tag in on what it's Brian, right? Is what Brian just spoke?
Daniel, that's Daniel.
Daniel. Okay, Daniel. That's awesome, man. I'm looking forward to Saturday. It's probably one of the biggest challenges that we have with where people have watched how we normally train, which is like a 1-to-1-to-1 count, or a 2-to-1-to-1, or a 2-to-1-to-2. And people were literally taught how to work out that way from just watching like anybody you see in the gym, or muscle magazines or wherever you learned how to train. And it's such a valuable tool to train under that slow, controlled motion.
Yeah.
It's something we've really been talking about. So I'm excited about this. I'm going to push a lot of people your direction on Saturday and plug them into this group because it's a skill. Yeah, it's a skill that people don't understand how important it is, especially if you're just beginning with well, I'll tell you what, especially if you're beginning and you have a fresh slate to paint on, it's the best way to learn. And I took my daughter through a workout probably similar to, not similar to what you do, but slow and controlled. She's a collegiate volleyball player. It kicked her butt, and we only did about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and so I'm excited. I'm excited for it, man. Thank you for offering that.
Yeah.
You're welcome. I mean, it's a passion of mine. So any chance I get to share the passion, I take advantage of it. So that's what I love about it is not a lot of people know about the alternative to the standard way to work out. Breathe in as you push up, breathe out as you or if you lower, and that's 1 to 2 seconds each direction. There's so many other ways to train, and one could argue so many more efficient ways to train. So I'm excited to teach a lot of people. And
all right, guys, 5 seconds. We're going to next interval. This is number 2. All right, pick it up now. If you're jogging in place or walking in place, bring up your arms. Everybody else, just increase the exertion now. We got a 5-minute interval. We want your heart rate to come up at least 10 beats, maybe more. And this is the time where we're breathing, we're elevating our heart rate. If you have a watt meter, for those that are watching online, the target that I'm working at is 135 watts. That may be easy for you. That may be hard for you. I don't know. But basically, pick it up for 5. Good job, guys. I see you. I can hear some of you breathing a little harder. That's exactly the time for that. Perfect. Keep your breathing. Focus on your breathing. Don't hold your breath. Body needs oxygen. Focus on your form as well. If you're on a hand cycle, pay attention to how hard you're gripping the handles. If you're on an elliptical or something, you want to hold on well, but not be squeezing. Looking for that efficiency there. Focus on your form and your breathing. And when your body says it's done, it's probably lying. It's just your mind tricking you. We've got some world champions and national champions and Paralympians that have joined us today as well. It's pretty exciting to be in a group of people that have made athletics a profession. And it's equally exciting to see people that have never done anything athletic at all. And guess what? The playing field is all level right now. Good job, guys. Because we're beating everybody that's still in bed or on the couch.
Amen.
2 minutes.
Good, Craig.
Say that one more time, Scott.
The Tiger King series on Netflix. That's pretty good.
Yeah. The Tiger, what was the last word? Tiger series?
Tiger King.
Tiger King,
Saw that,
okay.
Scott.
Yeah, it's so crazy. It's the whole other side of America.
Nice.
I've heard it's horrible, but you can't look away.
So that was a little bit of irony or sarcasm. I don't know. Never know with Scott whether it's if he's saying something that he's saying or he's saying something he's not saying.
Oh, love you,
Okay. Well, you accomplished that. All right, 120 to go. We are almost done, guys. Good job. Some of you may want to, during your intervals, if you're on an upper body ergometer, like Sherry is and like Pam is and Tracy, you might want to do the hard interval one direction, the easy interval the opposite direction, or even switch off 1 minute forward, 1 minute backwards, just to give some variety to the muscles, let them see things from a different angle.
I unfortunately have to go. I'll see you guys on Friday.
All right, see you then. Yep.
What was that?
Have a good one.
Yeah.
You guys too. Bye.
30 seconds. If you got a little more juice in you, you might want to dial it up for the last 30. All right, 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right. So now is the rest phase. Gonna bring the intensity down. Breathing. I want to get a photo of us. Some of you might have to leave. I think some of you are just getting warmed up. That could be it too. But if everybody, if you can take a look. Yeah. If you guys can give us a thumbs up or a smile or something, we're gonna get a group photo here. Awesome. Good job, guys. Back to work. All right, so next up, Jess went. Sherry, why don't you tell us where you're from and something you're grateful for?
Hi, my name is Sherry Schultz, and I'm from Colorado. Thankful that we have this because they closed down all the ski areas here. So that took away some of my joy. I'm also thankful for my dogs.
Your dog's great. By the way, just a little back history on Sherry. So some of you have heard the story about the friend that called and said, do you want to go ride in Moab? There's just a big adventure in Moab. And that was Sherry. So when I talk about more yes days, I'm talking about a concept of our goal. My goal in life is to have more days where I'm able to say yes to things and less days where I have to say no. And the concept is, you got a friend that calls you up and says, you want to go on an adventure, and you're able to say yes for multiple reasons. One, because you have quality friendships. That's something that's important to me. You have one of the first questions I had to ask myself when I got the invitation was, physically, can I? And if you're doing kinds of work to focus on your physical health, eventually you'll be able to say yes more often than you have to say no. The second one was, did I have the finances to be able to, in 2 weeks, just drive out or fly out to Moab? And so as you work smart and hard, you'll be able to focus your finances so you can do those kinds of things. And then the third one, do you have a schedule or a calendar or a vocation that allows you with 2 weeks notice to just take a few days off and not have to worry about that? If you're self-employed, that's one of the benefits. And if you don't have that now, that's fine. If you want it, now you know. And so you can set that out there as a goal to work towards with some structured choices, and you can even build that. But ultimately, the most important piece was quality relationships, and that Sherry made the invitation in the first place. And I think that was the first ride we had been on in a while, and so it was nice to see her again. We were at the World Championships back in 2019. I don't know when that was. Whenever the World Trade Towers were bombed, we were over there in Europe racing. So that's Sherry. Now you know the woman behind the story. Thanks again for the invitation to that adventure. All right, 1 minute to go. Maureen, maybe you can tell us where you're from and something of gratitude.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm from Vancouver, Washington, and I'm grateful for my family, my faith, and I have to say this wonderful community, you guys. I normally would be at work right now, so Craig invited me, and I'm very grateful, Greg. Thank you, and nice to meet everybody.
Yeah, Maureen's the woman that I was speaking of that said, all I have is sneakers, and I was like, well, bring them. And here she is, setting the example, setting the standard for all of us.
Maureen, we expect you to raise those knees really high.
One more time?
Raise those knees really high.
No, yeah. High knees, that's right.
Actually, they are very high, you guys. I am so sore. I'm a yoga person, so this has been good for me. Thank you.
All right, here we go. Here's our next interval. This is interval number 3. Pick it up for 5 minutes. Wherever you're at, do something harder for the next 5 minutes. Jumping jacks, burpees. Man, I don't know if you could do 5 minutes of burpees. Woo, that'd be hard.
Casey, tag, you're it.
Yeah.
I think we did a 30-minute AMRAP one time with burpees. I think it was 450 burpees.
Oh my goodness.
I was sore for 3 days in areas I had no idea worked.
Yeah. Well, we did that AMRAP where it was as many burpees as you could in 5 minutes, and I think you hit 98 and I hit 99.
Oh my goodness, you guys were neck and neck. That's
I think you counted wrong, Sean. I think you got 99. I got 100.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
That's funny. 4 minutes. 4 minutes to go. Well, Sean, why don't you tell us where you're from, something you're grateful for, and maybe a little bit of history. Sean's one of our Tuesday, Thursday trainers with Casey.
Yeah, absolutely. Good morning, everybody. We're from Beaverton, Portland Metro Tigard area. Grateful for my family, my beautiful wife, my amazing dog Stout, and my beautiful daughter Piper, for an amazing community of support, encouragement, and motivation. And just to know that in a day and age that we have the ability to continue to motivate people remotely, keep them involved, keep them active, and move each other forward one step at a time or one paw at a time.
You know, it's funny, Sean, as I saw Tiffany in the background, at first I think she was on the ground. I thought she fell in your kitchen, and I was like, you're completely unfazed.
Nope, she's working out back there. I'll turn around and show you her little workout station in the hallway here in a second.
One of the reasons we call this 4-week challenge the Adapt and Innovate 4-week challenge. And, you know, I've invited a lot of people to come, and some of them are like, you know, well, they think it's a challenge, all has to do with exercise only. And quite honestly, the challenge is to get here. The first challenge is to show up. And when you've made a commitment, you decide how hard you want to work, but you just show up. And I know that Casey, I got 2 minutes to go. Casey talked about Monday morning, and there was an expectation that was put upon him that motivated an action. You want to talk a little bit about that, Casey?
Well, I'm going to tell you straight up, it happened again today. I mean, it's, you know what, trainers for the most part, and I think we all know that all of us are trainers to a certain extent, but showing up for for the group is such a huge thing. Making that contract with yourself and not breaking it. But honestly, I think if I had been doing my own workout right now, I would not be continuing doing my cardio. I'd be distracted. I'd be doing something else. I'd be checking my text messages. I'd be checking my messages. And it's like this accountability group is so critical in overall success of everything that you're shooting for. And you can have intrinsic motivation. That's where it starts. And then you have that structural tension of where you want to go. And then you have the support group in the middle that pulls you up when you need to be pulled, maybe holds you back when you need to be held back a little bit, not in a bad way, but in a mentoring kind of way or a humbling way. But yeah, I mean, we all need each other.
Yeah.
And nobody is an island on their own, that's for sure.
Yeah. So good, so good. I know we've been doing this online workout in the wintertime at least for about 6 years. Sometimes twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week. And the reason why I felt the need to set this up, first of all, I like people, but second, I also like my bed. And so if I knew that people were going to be waiting for me, okay, let's break it down. Interval 5 minutes of easy jog.
Craig, you know, that's such a critical thing. What we talked about as a family last night with our 2 kids. We've got a junior in high school. We've got a sophomore in college. Everybody's out of structure right now. And we're like, we need to have a family schedule of expectations so that you have something to look forward to throughout your day.
Yep.
You have some kind of something that needs to be accomplished and get done, and some time together. We scheduled a coffee date with our team, just come together, get on a Zoom and just visit, talk about what's for dinner, talk about what they've been working through, their hopes, their dreams, and just, again, just like this, only just sitting on the couch, just having conversation. But without that schedule, so many people are lost. Yesterday's a good example. I had planned on getting my personal workout because I watched Sean work out yesterday behind the camera. But I was pushing it off all day long, and I always felt like I had more time, and then I ran out of time.
Yeah.
So without that structured schedule, and that those intentions are great, but the reality that they're going to get done when you got so many other thoughts going on and so many other things you need to do, it just doesn't happen.
So good.
Casey, it's, when we think about time, we think about it's one of the most valuable resources on the planet, right? And we're the oldest we'll ever be and the youngest we've ever been in this moment, and snap, it's gone, right? And so you look at managing your time, managing your efficiency, whether it's during a workout or it's in life. You and I often say people do life the way they exercise, and you develop those patterns, habits, and routines through your ability to understand that when you get uncomfortable, you're growing. And right now, as a whole, we're growing in a lot of ways, and there's a lot of discomfort, sadness, pain, and suffering. But from that is going to come a lot of good and a lot of great things as long as we continue to move each other forward.
So good.
Right on, man.
There was a saying, work before play makes the play better. And I don't know about you, but when I play first and push off the work, my day ends with a less satisfaction. And when I start off with doing the hard things first, the play becomes better. And so just think about, do the hard thing, lean into the hard thing, and then look forward to the dessert, which is the hard thing having been done. So good. One more time, Scott.
Said if you want something hard, you could do my taxes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get right on that right after this workout, right? 1:30 to go on the rest phase, minute and 30.
Okay, so the coronavirus wasn't bad enough. Here in northern Alabama, we spent the night with tornadoes.
Oh, wow.
They
Oh,
started
no.
the late afternoon and from Mississippi. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So the wind power, you were generating extra electricity last night.
But think about all those people that have to go to a common shelter.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Totally.
Think about that.
That's
Yeah.
the light.
You know, you weren't open.
Yeah.
And you feel bad when you hear the news anchors say, those of you in mobile homes need to get to a shelter.
Yeah. Or your mobile home will be quite mobile.
Exactly.
Yeah, wow. 30 seconds till our third, 1, 2, 3, our fourth interval, I think. Amber, can you tell us where you're from this morning?
Wait, you turn it on. Good morning.
Good morning.
My elliptical's kind of noisy, so I wanted to hop off of that. Hi, Maureen. I am from Sevierville, Tennessee.
Uh-huh.
And I am grateful for all the incredible relationships I have with people. First of all, God, and then community and all that. So I am super stoked. And this is my first time joining y'all, so I am loving it.
Oh, so good. All right, guys, pick it up. We got 5 minutes of higher intensity. So pick it up. This is our fourth interval out of 5. We are over halfway. Good job, everybody. You can see the finish line in sight. Great job. How about you, Bruce? Are you able to tell us where you're from and something you're grateful for?
I'm from Boise, Idaho. Started going to practice class for the Boise Bible College last semester.
Yeah.
I'm the one class this semester, survey of Bible history, Bible doctrine. I'm learning so much, trying to figure out what I believe as a Christian.
Uh-huh.
And by studying, I was studying last night, and it's really, really rich.
That's so good.
That's one thing I'm really thankful for this day.
Yeah. There's a lot there, man. I met Bruce at the World Championship off-road cycling, hand cycling, adaptive cycling. And Bruce rides an off-road foot trike, which is an amazing machine. So I got to meet him out in Colorado, Crested Butte, Colorado. It's Colorado, I think. Yeah.
Also known as Crested Butt.
Okay, there you go.
People forget the B-U-T-T-E.
What was crazy about racing up there is the start line was at 10,000 feet of elevation, and we went up from there. So it's like very different than doing marathons around the country. Whew. So good. All right. Who else do we got? I don't know. Eric Neitzel. I see that you're pretty faces there. If you're able to come off of mute. Eric's an old veteran racer. He was a little young buck when I started racing, and he came up through the ranks. If you're able to come off and tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, that'd be awesome. There we go.
Hey, man.
Hey.
Good morning. Thanks. Eric Neitzel. I'm from San Diego, California. Off the bike right now. I got a little bit of a store, so I'm kind of dealing with that. Yeah, Craig, I'm grateful for you.
No, you can't say that.
I am.
Because
so many things have changed in my life because of you and everything that's been going on now.
Yeah. Thanks, Eric.
Link that you could click on. I know.
Eric was able to come out to Wheelchair Sports Camp out in Minnesota. I think it was last year. And he kind of just got reinvigorated to get back in there and fight and get back involved in life and start riding again and just start setting some goals and stuff. And boy, did he catch fire. I think he does about 5,000 miles per week. Every time I see him out riding, he gets back from a ride and it's 50 miles with 2,000 feet of elevation. I'm like, what the heck? 1 minute. 1 minute to go on this interval. This is our hard phase. Focus on your breathing and focus on your form. All right, 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Where's that arch?
One more time, Lenny.
Where's the arch?
Yeah, yeah. Look for
I see
the
it.
look for the blue circle. 10 seconds.
Make sure there's no white light coming through it.
I know, right? Yeah. 3, 2, 1. All right. Good job. All right, so that was our 4th out of 5 intervals. Should be backing her down a little bit, letting your heart rate come down. Don't stop entirely, just let your heart rate come down a little bit. Breathe and prepare for our last hard interval. Who else do we have on here? Jessica, why don't you tell us where you're from, something you're grateful for. There you are.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm down at my dad's and he's still asleep, so I'm in the dark and I'm trying to be quiet. But I tell you what, I am enjoying hearing everybody and I am really working up a sweat because I'm on this Bowflex Max trainer thing and it is ridiculous. I'm going to keep my voice down, but I sure appreciate all your guys' company this morning. I'm enjoying it.
So and did you say where you were from?
I am from Marysville, so I'm like an hour north of Seattle in Washington.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Welcome, Jessica. Way to show up. Jessica's been here Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and maybe Friday. I don't know. But she made a commitment to show up, and she's showing up. Good job, Jessica. One more time.
Are you going to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday next week?
Yeah, it's this workout will be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Tuesdays and Thursdays is more of an interval training with Casey and Sean, and then Fridays is going to be super slow motion with Daniel. So if you want to ride with us, yeah, I mean, you can do whatever you want, but we're basically every day at 7 a.m. Pacific, we have something for you.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, not Sundays. Monday through Saturday. Sunday we have sleep in. Enjoy those warm covers.
So it's like 80 degrees in Georgia right now.
80?
It's probably 75 right now. I didn't put it on. It's getting hot.
Yeah. I know you got your garage door open. If I opened my garage door, snow would blow in. Not really, but you know, it's cold here. Summer's coming, folks. Summer's coming.
I just turned my fan off.
Summer's here if you're in Atlanta, I guess.
This is spring.
And weather.
Yeah. Did we miss anybody? I think we've got Amber, you're on there twice. I got you. Who did we miss? I think we've got everybody. Everybody that's still here, so good job, gang. Good job, gang. 2 minutes to go, and then we got our last interval. Now, if this one you want to maybe the first minute, I'll call out every minute. If you want to do a certain tempo for the first minute, and then pick it up a teeny bit the second minute, pick it up for the third, and then do whatever you can at least for the last 30 seconds. And then we'll cool down and talk about our experiences we've had today. A minute and 20 to go. Still on the rest phase.
Craig, I just wanted to do a shout out to both Casey and Sean. For that workout yesterday, I went on not knowing what to expect. And yes, it was intense, but I modified big time. I really appreciate it. I got more jumping jacks and push-ups and sit-ups in than I've had in a long time. So thank you both.
You're very welcome. Very welcome. We always tell people do the best job you can, and for every exercise there's a progression or a digression, and so it's just finding that happy space for yourself. Rest when you need to rest and work when you need to work, but it's always better with a group of people.
Yeah. So good. You know, Maureen, you saying that from folks that work out a lot, that love to work out and love to teach people and our mentors, that was like butter for our ears hearing you say that, Maureen. Thank you.
Hey, Craig and everybody, my laptop's high on the signal, so I don't say goodbye at the end. Thank you.
Okay. Well, yeah. Hopefully we'll see you Friday for sure. Good to see you, Scott. Oh, yeah. I'll tell you. Okay, here we go. Here's our next interval. So pick it up. We got our last 5 minutes. I'll tell you the story I was going to tell you at the beginning. Scott and I raced a lot together. And when I was really in my prime, so was Scott. And we just did out. Oh, man, every race when I knew he showed up, if Scott showed up, it was going to be a hard day at the office. And I remember one time we were at this race called the Riverside Rumble. It was the National 10K Championships, and he had a teammate from Illinois because they still do have an amazing adaptive program there. And they had James Briggs was there and Scott was there, and they had a tactic that they had been dreaming up because they wanted to beat me. And there was, I don't know, what was that thing called? You had a special name for it, Scott.
Yeah, it's called Mudman.
Mudman. Okay, so I don't know where the name came from. There you go.
It came from Kenny Carnes. Yeah.
Oh, Kenny Carnes, okay. And so the idea is that one of them would attack off the front, and the other one, who was in second place drafting, wouldn't chase. And so I'm in third place, and I see Scott go off the front, and I know that I've got to go catch him. So I come around the guy in second, and I chase him down. Well, when I'm chasing him down, the guy that was in second is now drafting me. As soon as I get in the draft of Scott, third place comes around and attacks, and Scott basically sits up.
Basic team tactics, Greg.
Yeah, team tactics, yeah. And so every time one of them went off the front, if I was going to win the race, which I wanted to, I had to chase. So effectively, they were all getting a little bit of a rest each interval, and I was chasing every attack. And they did that for, I don't know, probably 50 or, 5,000 times. And by the end, I was tuckered out, and they had a little bit more juice. And I think you won that, Scott, and I was second. And oh, was that frustrating for me. But boy, was that well played, not just racing with your body, but racing with your mind in partnership.
It only took us 7 years to figure out trying to keep attacking from the front while you were drafting wasn't working.
Yeah, yeah, so there you go. You guys are good students. 2 minutes. Yeah, so good. Good racing stories. I love seeing so many familiar faces. newer familiar faces and then old time racing buddies from way back in the day. Whew. All right, 1.5 minutes to go. So if you did decide that you wanted to lay some out there, you can increase your intensity a bit. All right, 1 minute to go. 1 minute left.
You got this, team.
Yeah.
More encouragement.
Get it.
$30 seconds. Drop the hammer. Come on now, 10 seconds. Leave it out there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Way to go. Don't stop entirely. Back it down a little bit. Let your heart rate come down. By the way, if you have a heart rate, take note of it. Monitor. If you don't, you can take your fingers, touch them on your neck, and that pulse is your pulse. Count for 6 seconds, and that will give you your heart rate. So I'm going to count out 6 seconds for those of you that don't have heart rate so you can see where you're at. All right? 2, go. 2, 3, 4, 5, stop. All right. So you times that by 10. So if you were 12, that's 120. And so on and so forth.
It sounds like the drums from Jumanji. You're doing good.
Yeah, yes. Oh, man. Jumanji, what a fun show. What's up, Keith Davis? I'm out here. He's watching us online right now.
Come on, Keith. Get on your roller.
Get on your roller, Scott says, and you can join us on Zoom and work out with us. We'll be here again Friday at 7 a.m. Pacific, and you can ride with us and get properly, properly pumped up.
We're talking about my little mini adventures. I got to go out to Keith a month and a half ago or something, and I'll tell you, he's been biking a lot, and he destroyed me day after day. So I'm glad he's not on the spin. We got to catch up.
That's good. He said, I'm going outside in the sun. So Keith lives in Arizona, and that makes sense.
Nice.
All my Arizona buddies say, I'll ride with you in the summer when we have to be indoors with air conditioning. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to be outdoors.
Yep. I ride indoors at the Y during the wintertime.
Yeah.
I'm going to be taking my recumbent down there, my trainer.
Oh, nice.
There, and I ride with the guys on the bikes.
Yeah. It's such a great place to ride in the winter. And then, so
the YMCA's been great for me out here.
Oh, good.
We're starting an adaptive track and field program here at the South Meridian Y.
Okay.
Just on the ground floor of it.
Yeah. Perfect. So we got about 2 minutes to go on our cool down. Just stretch it out. Nice. Good job. This is the hard work is over. And now comes the dessert. One of the things that I know Maureen's talked about after your workout on Monday. You mind telling us a little bit about kind of your comments that you made to us on Monday after you showed up?
Absolutely. So on Monday, you guys, after going almost a week with little to no exercise other than walking outside, I had more energy throughout the day. It was incredible. I totally get how important it is to exercise every day. And so, I'm trying to remember who said this. I apologize, I can't remember his name, but I'm also grateful for you too, Craig.
Oh, you guys are very sweet.
Craig, a big old bald head.
It's bigger now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait like an hour before my head shrinks so I can get back in the house. You guys are awesome. Well, you know,
I have to say,
yeah, go ahead, Jessica.
let me piggyback off of that. I've never exercised formally in my entire life, except when I think I was 19, 20, and 21. I went to the gym 5 days a week and did cardio, but that was it. And even when I lost all of my weight using, of course, our amazing program and really sticking to it, I didn't really exercise formally. I would do a little here, a little there. And going into this, I thought, oh my gosh, I better clear the calendar because I'm going to be tired this week because I'm making this a priority. And so far, the opposite has happened. And I'm shocked. I thought I would be exhausted.
Yeah. Welcome to the benefits of exercise, right? So good. Well, good job, you guys. You know, and I know you guys are. I'm thankful. You know, one of the reasons why I set these things up is actually kind of selfish, because if you want to make exercise a lifestyle, you do not do it alone. You just don't, because there'll be days when comfort and, you know, just lack of desire or motivation creep in. And when you have a community around you that basically is expecting you to show up for the number one reason, because you said you would, you do. And that is what makes a lifelong learner and a lifelong exercise person. And so,
you know, Craig,
thankful for you guys too. Go
that's
ahead,
huge.
Kate.
That's what I was trying to say when I was oxygen deficited and unable to talk. Was not just from, I mean, what trainers do is this is the same as health coaching. It's like trainers show up to teach a class many times when they don't want to or feel like it. But when you have to do things that you sometimes don't feel like doing, that's the strength and things that move you forward. So when you're a health coach, it's the same type of thing. It's like you want to live in integrity. You want to lead a team. You do the things every day because you know that you're an inspiration to other people, and that lifts yourself up. So like you said, having these workouts are selfish, but when you can do selfish things that help so many other people, that's really that's amazing to me. So
yeah.
if it's done in good and well, it's awesome.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, so many of us, well, some of us are health coaches, and we didn't necessarily just health coach just to help other people. I started health coaching so that I would stay in the zone, and I would get better at relationships, and I would get better at communication, and I would get better at the physical and the mindset, and of course the vocational, financial side, all of it. And then over time, you know, the health coaching and the people that I get to talk to every day are what kept me going and keep me in the game. And so that's why a lot of us have gone through the training program and have gotten certified as health coaches, is because we want to make this stick. And there's something about being a student and something about being the instigator or the teacher, and it just sticks in a different way. when you're teaching a subject versus just consuming a subject. So good job, you all, today. It's been a fantastic day. By the way, in our challenge today, we've got our 4-week challenge. We're on day number 3, and today we're doing a cooking demo. It's a cooking with kids demo, and it's going to be at noon Pacific. We'll be going on a live stream at noon, and so if you're in our Facebook group, you'll be able to see that. And so if you've got kids at home and you're at home and you want to join us, if you're joining on Facebook and you want to be part of the challenge, comment below that you want to be part of it, and I'll get you in the challenge. And for those of you that are in the challenge, today at noon Pacific, we're going to be doing a little cooking with your kids demo to give your family a little. And I think the ingredients you need are a banana, peanut butter, and a tortilla shell, high fiber tortilla shell if you have them.
Ooh, that already sounds good.
Yeah, I know, right? Especially right now.
Two staples right there.
That's right. All right, you guys. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for being consistent. Tomorrow, same time, Casey and Sean are going to do a little circuit training. Friday, we'll be here again. And then Saturday, we'll be here with Daniel doing super slow-mo from your living room. What you need for that is if you have a foam roller, a high-density foam roller, that's the equipment that you'll need. And then if you have a piece of doweling, like what you hang your clothes up in your closet, and a couple of chairs. And that's all you need for our strength training session on Saturday morning.
Is that size diameter important, Craig, or can it be a PVC?
PVC might work. It's just going to be like a row. So you're going to do a reverse push-up. And we're trying to figure out a way to get gravity on our side. So. And
then maybe I should apologize to Daniel while I'm over here doing my 1-to-1-to-1 count bench press. Sorry, Daniel. He's over there cringing.
Just go slow.
Yeah, let's do a 10 and 10 on that, Casey. 10 down, 10 up. Pause for 2 at the bottom.
All right, you guys. We'll see you soon. Have a very awesome day, everybody. Good job.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody. Have an awesome day, you guys.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.